You are such an asshole!
Hey everybody, the old captain here, and I am the world's only professional asshole. The Dark Knight of Advice columns, the IKEA of consultants at assholeconsulting.com. You can go there if you got questions. And this is in particular for the millennials if you have money, which I know most of you don't. But since you'll borrow $150,000 to go study dick-sucking studies, whatever the fuck it is you kids study nowadays, you can afford the $35 cash to help the old, or pay the old captain to help you out. Hi, Aaron. I'm a 19-year-old college student attending the Stern School of Business. Out of all the STEM concentrations offered at the business school, I'm leaning towards majoring in actuarial science. What is there, like 3 accounting MIS and actuarial science? Maybe they got big data over there. Maybe the business schools might actually offer some of value this time. You'll see Porter's 5 forces model. Did you do a SWOT analysis? Have you done SWOT analysis? Have you written a bunch of bullshit papers? Anyway, I'm leaning towards majoring in actuarial science as I have an affinity for math, if possible. Maybe double majoring in computing and data science. I'd minor in that because that will. Then you could go into modeling. You could become an econometrician. You could go into big data, but man, actuarial science is going to be pretty tough on its own. You don't need to be double majoring. All right, so minor in that stuff. Pick it up later. Certainly would supplement that actuarial science degree very well, and especially if you learn some programming on the side. That could lead to bigger and better things down the road. The rub of it all is that I'm currently on a medical leave of absence due to mental issues caused by horrible lifestyle choices I had made a few months back. Not scheduled to return until so. Well, it's self-inflicted and there's mental health, all right? You know me. Oh, you're not going to get any. Oh, that's too bad. That sounds like whining and complaining. Too bad for you. Whining does not solve anything, all right? And it's self-inflicted, so you know you did it, and now you're suffering the consequences. Do not piss away this horrible experience. Learn something from it so you never fucking do it again. And I think you will, because you admitted you fucked it up and it's your choices. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. We don't do that here. We don't do that. There's Santa Claus and the devil maybe do it, and bipolar and the ADHD head. It could be possible you have it, but given you're a millennial and given how we've overdiagnosed people, no, I think you just need a swift kick in the ass. And it seems like you're delivering it to yourself, so I have a little bit of hope for you. My return is contingent on my receiving treatment while I'm gone, but I don't know how this will affect my college career when applying for jobs/internships. All right, let's talk about this. Your medical record is no employer's business. You don't have to tell anybody that. And employers are not going to say, oh, what was his academic probation like or anything like that. All you got to do is go in there and say, here's my degree, here's my GPA, I got the degree. If they say, oh, why did it take you so long to figure that out? What about these withdrawals? Tell them you had a family emergency. Tell them you had a family emergency and that you were needed and you had to drop out. You don't have to tell them that you were mentally ill or anything like that. No, girlfriend, you call it the worst times possible. Don't you know Big Daddy C is working? So that right there, I wouldn't worry about that because you don't have to tell them. Don't spill that. Don't tell them that. That's your private information. That's your private world, so you don't have to worry about that. Although I have a decent GPA, although I have a decent GPA of 3.6 right now, my transcript will forever be tainted with W's, which stands for withdrawals from my courses I departed from in the middle of the year as per the leave of absence. My concern are whether this diagnosis and abrupt leave of absence will reflect poorly when applying for jobs. No, because you lie. Look, how do people get ahead in the world? They lie. Haven't you figured that out yet? And your lie is frankly, it's not even a lie. You just say, no, it was a family emergency that came up and I had to, and that's it. End of discussion. They won't pursue it anymore. That's if they even ask. The truth is the HR people, fuck the HR people. The computer is going to see 3.6 GPA actuarial science and they'll pass it on to the HR lady, who then is going to ask you some fucking stupid questions about the color that you like the most. And if you were a farm animal, which one you could be. Maybe they'll ask about your W's, and then you just tell them I had a family emergency, I had to go back home and help out my dad. Everything was okay though, blah blah blah. And then okay, and then you move on. Applying for jobs. Whether I'll be considered second next to a normal counterpart without any of these things. No, they won't know you're second. Will I have a lower pay as well because I might be considered a liability? I would appreciate your honest feedback. Yeah, look, if they find out that you got the bipolars and the huz, all right, and you tell them that because you want to... I saw one guy admit that he had... Was it bipolar or was it... I think it was bipolar. Yeah, that guy didn't get hired. Your mental health is nobody's business, all right? So you don't have to tell anybody, right? And you shouldn't. That's not the time or the place. What you should do is get your fucking act together, all right? Whether that requires therapy or not, whether that requires you fucking deciding, hey, you know what? I'm going to knock this fucking bullshit off and stop making bad decisions. That's the best route. And you're going to take it seriously from here on out. You're going to be an adult. That's the best route. And then this is all moot, all right? But if you want to go to that route, I mean, and then here's the other thing. Where they may find out is when all of a sudden your health bill comes in. And I don't know if it's state by state, but if all of a sudden they, how would that work? You go to the doctor, the insurance company, now the insurance companies keep it secret from the employer. So you still don't have to worry about it in that case. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. This is like you have herpes. Don't tell anybody. All right? Well, tell your therapist, but don't tell anybody. Right? Will I have lower pay because I might be considered a liability? No. I would appreciate your honest feedback. Also, if you decide to make a video, please keep this as anonymous as you can. Thanks. Yeah, we would keep it anonymous. So here's the deal. Then I asked you a follow-up question like, look, you're worried. There was a little bit of a hint that you were worried about your 3.6 GPA, which is a phenomenal GPA, by the way. So, whatever bad lifestyle choices you were making, and you still had a 3.6, you're a natural for this dude. You're going to get close to a 3.8, 3.85 if you get A's the rest of this way. So I think you obviously have the raw talent to be an actuary. A plan B of going into computer science, well, sure, certainly. But you were also worried about, your GPA. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. If those withdrawals don't go on to your final GPA, like they're not going to affect you, you take those classes over and then the new grade you get goes into the GPA, yeah, you're going to graduate with a very fine, very spectacular even GPA. You'll graduate magna or summa cum laude. Little hint. No, I can't pick on him. Oh, God, I'd love to do that. I'll pick on him on Facebook. But anyway, yeah, you're going to do fine on that GPA. Don't worry about it. Here, your big hurdle is not going to be your ability to go through college and graduate. That is almost a foregone conclusion with your performance thus far. It's going to be you solving or dealing with your bipolar disorder, whether you have it or not. All right? That's going to be, and I'm no therapist. You got to go talk to a therapist to see if you genuinely do have bipolar disorder. All right? But if old Captain had to look at the millennial generation, I'd say, no, you're a bunch of fucking lazy goddamn kids and no one's kicked your ass. And we diagnose laziness and sloth and emoism on a whole host of new diseases we've just come up with and pulled fresh out of our ass. All right? So, that's your jurisdiction. That's your domain. You got to figure that out for yourself. Go talk to a therapist, see if you really have it or not. I hate to see if they're going to give you drugs or something for that. But again, they're the pros. But while you have your conscious frontal lobes, while you're here and you're set on that, make it a commitment to yourself. You're going to graduate. No more bad decisions. And no more withdrawals. Only straight A's from here on out. Anyway, best of luck to you. Toodles.